Hey guys, I'm just going to jump straight into the video. The books I read in July were all on the app Libby. I obviously read hardcover books as well, but I've been recently switching over to digital and I'm really enjoying it. The first book I read was The High Mountains of Portugal, and this was for my book club that I attend, and I didn't realize at the time that it was magical realism, but it is. It's written by the author who wrote Life of Pi, so should have seen that curveball coming, but didn't. So it follows 3 stories in one story, and they all kind of cross paths. They all have themes of grief and loss and questioning your faith when it comes to religion or evolution. There's a great line in the book that goes, we are not fallen from angels, but risen from apes. And it really made me think about that. You know, that line stuck in my head throughout the whole book. And I came away from it not really understanding some of the symbolism that was going on. It does have a lot of animal connotations, like a lot of ape references, and there's a rhino in there as well. But it's written really well, and each section, so each story, is written with a different kind of tone. So the first one is following this young man who is in the early 1900s, and he's trying to find this answer to his life. He went through a really difficult time and he decided that he was going to walk backwards everywhere. So literally he walks backwards and we follow his journey. And I didn't really like that one as much as I liked the third one. But the second one was all about this woman going and seeing her dead husband, basically, and saying to the person in the morgue, don't show me how he died, show me how he lived. And he starts pulling out objects. So he starts pulling out like a hammer from his arm. And that's when I realized that the book was magical realism. I remember reading it and going, oh, okay, right, this is where we're at. So did not know that at the time, so that was a shock, but it was a good book. I enjoyed it. Lots of gritty symbolism and lots of really deeper meaning of life. If you enjoy those kinds of things, you would love it. You know, like it's kind of like The Alchemist, that kind of questioning of who you are and questioning your faith. It's really, really religious. Like it goes deep into the depths of questioning faith and evolution and all that kind of fun stuff, you know. The second book I read is actually, I'm going to put as a whole series because I wanted to get back into YA. I knew that I wanted to for a while because I missed out on this entire section of my life in my early 20s because I was going through so much hardship, and so I just didn't read. And unfortunately, I missed out on kind of the YA part of my life. Anyway, I got back into it with Sarah J. Maas and her series Court of Roses and Thorns. And I did not like the first book as much as the rest of the series. I think that's pretty conclusive with most people that have read it. I know a lot of people had trouble with her relationship with this particular character. I won't give anything away if you haven't read it, of course, because you know, I think you should read this. It's a good book. But yeah, I also had issues with the whole possessiveness, this guy being quite aggressive. For some reason, we have in the literature world this romantic idea of that if a man is really dominating and possessive, he's really attractive. And no. Just no. We need to stop doing that. It's just not okay. That is borderline abuse, and it's just makes me cringe. It triggers me. I just don't enjoy it, you know, like I don't, you know, just, nah. Anyway, the actual writing style. So she writes in first person. I usually strongly dislike first person. So this was a struggle for me to get through. I love third person because it's just better. It's just better written, really. You know, because when a character says, oh, I said this, or I went and did this, I think I would not do that and I would not say that. So this is not my perspective. Whereas when it's like Sarah said this and Sarah went and did that, I'm like, yeah, Sarah did do that because Sarah is not me. The rest of the series is significantly better than the first book. The first book is just the stepping stone into this world of like human realm and fae realm, which is really just elves at the end of the day. But it's a spin-off of Beauty and the Beast, and so I thought I'd give it a go. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the series as a whole, and now I'm up to the last one, which is A Court of Starlight. So I'm planning on finishing the series because it has been quite good. It has had great character development and a good storyline, but it's filled with so much sex, which I was so surprised about because it is supposed to be young adult, and I'm like, when I was a young adult, when I was their age, I should say, I was not doing that. So I think it's definitely not teenage audience. It's more like early 20s. Yeah, a lot of sex going on. Definitely more new adult than young adult. The next book is more of a personal development one, which is kind of my favorite genre. I do read fiction, obviously, but this is more up my alley. And the first one I read was Get Your Shit Together by Sarah Knight. And this was really like a colloquial kind of laid back way of writing. I listened to it on an audiobook in the car on the way to uni or work, and I really enjoyed it. Like, she had a no bullshit policy where it's just like, this is how you do the thing, now go do the thing. A lot of self-help books go through the whole psychology of why you're procrastinating and why you're doing the things you're doing, and changing like your mental psyche and all that, whereas she's like, no, these are the actionable steps, now go do that shit. Just get it done, just do it now. And I just really thought that was great because not many self-help books are like that. So I really enjoyed it. It made me laugh a lot of the time, and her references are really like funny as well. If you're American, you would really appreciate it. A lot of that I was like, what? I don't get that because I'm Australian, but it's a fun book, and it's super easy to read and super easy to listen to as well. The next book is slightly random, but it's Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. And the reason why I read this is because I'm writing a sci-fi novel. I've been writing it for 2 years now, and I just feel like I just can't get it right because I just don't know science. I don't know physics. I know astrology and I know astronomy very, very well. Been obsessed with that since I was a kid because I wanted to be an astronaut. But I don't really know anything about physics or chemistry or things like that. So I just wanted that knowledge to just get myself in there. And now that I've read this book, it's made me question a lot of the things that I've written about. So in my second draft, I'll have to just go back over things, rewrite some chapters, and just get that information onto the page so that it conveys the message that I want, if that makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense. So that's why I read the book. And I enjoyed it. It's actually really well written, and it's very easy, very, very easy to understand. There was a couple of times I had to go back and kind of read over things again because I was like, hang on, whoa, what's going on? But you know, that was only a couple of times. So apart from that, it's like really simple to understand, and anyone could read it. So they were the books I read for the month of July. I'm pretty proud of how many I read. I didn't expect to read that entire series that Sarah J. Maas wrote. So 2 books I picked up but did not finish were The Gifts of Imperfection and The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I didn't finish them because I was reading other things, and when I went to pick up my ebook reader Nexus thing, I just wasn't reaching for them. And then when they went back to the library automatically, because I do the digital thing now, I just didn't renew them, you know, and I don't feel the need to renew them because I just feel as though I just won't read them. I won't gain something out of them, but maybe one day I'll pick them up again. So those were the books I read in July. I'm super proud of how many I read actually for like the first month of getting back into reading. Not bad, especially reading almost a whole series, but mind you, I like binge read that. Thank you for watching until the end. If you did, I really appreciate it. It's nice to know that people are interested in what I'm reading. I think it's cool. And I'll see you next month for my August wrap up. Bye. Bye. Bye.